It's amazing to see how time goes by. It's hard to believe that such a legendary singer has been dead for that long. And I remember the first time I heard of Elvis, and the first time I saw him, I was just like, this guy's a little different. And of course he was different. Every singer is going to be different. But this guy I thought was different compared to some of the other singers that I was growing up with. And I looked at him, and I just thought, he's an entertainer. And my mother was like, honey, he's not just the entertainer, he was a revolutionary. That's who he was. That's who Elvis Presley was. He was, from what I've heard on documentaries, he has sold over 1 billion records. I've never heard of any singer selling over 1 billion records. Not to mention that they called him the king of rock and roll. There's a reason why they call him the king. Not because he's the king of rock and roll, but because he was the king of music. To me, I think Elvis is not just the king of rock and roll, he's the king of entertainment, music, songs, rock and roll. He's the king of entertainers. He's the king of singers. Most Elvis fans, I believe, if I was going to ask them, they'd be like, if you're going to put Elvis Presley on the entertainment, well, he should be at the top of the music lists. And you know what, I really do think that he should, because he was very influential. He's one of the most influential musicians of this time. He still is. And fans of every generation, 50s, 60s, 70s, even into the 21st century, the mid to late 2010s, millions of people are still talking about him and playing his music. I had a teacher, and she is a huge Elvis Presley fan. She wore a Taking Care of Business necklace, which was some of the things that Elvis's bodyguards would wear. Pins, Taking Care of Business, TCB. And she had a lot of Elvis collectibles. And I would ask her what she got. And she was like, oh, I got bed sheets, coffee mugs, rings, beer mugs, and, even, phone cases, cell phone cases. He's still an icon, superstar, legendary. He's one of the best entertainers of all time, and it's shocking to know that he has been dead for 40 complete years. And I'm not saying that to upset fans. I'm saying that to pay tribute to him. Even though I'm not much of an Elvis Presley fan, it's true. I'm not a huge Elvis fan. I do think he's amazing. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to upset Elvis fans out there, but it's true. I don't really listen to his music that much, but I'm making this video for you guys to see. And of course, he'll be remembered. I mean, it's amazing to see how, 60 years later since he, burst onto the music scene and, made rock and roll history, he's definitely just seeing all his music being played, from the 50s all the way up until his later years in the mid and early 70s, and the fact that he's still a best-selling artist is just incredible. It's incredible. In conclusion, I will say this. Elvis Presley was not the king of rock and roll. He was the king. And when I say the king, I mean, if you're going to have like a music family tree, he's at the top of the throne. Always has been. He still will be, I feel, to millions of fans. And to his family and to his friends, this is all for you. To fans and to people. Rest well, King. See you later. Mr. Blues here for you.